people of the world. Welcome. This is Dandelion Dreams podcast. My name is Julia Mason. I'm a person. I live in Oregon with my husband and my 2 little girls and some sheep. So anyways, yeah, I'm super excited today. I have a lot going on in life. It's funny because our last episode was like so sad and like a bummer, and then a lot has been going on, and some of this was going on before, but I didn't really want to share about it because I didn't know if it was going to work out, and I still don't know if it's going to work out. So I guess my new like MO for the podcast is I'm just going to talk about my life first, because otherwise I'm going to be thinking about it the whole time. Also, you like my new shirt? I like it. My mom got it for me while she was out of town. Anyways, personal life. Yeah, I'm gonna probably talk about that stuff first, because otherwise I'm totally distracted when I'm talking about my knitting. So anyways, yeah, so like last episode I talked about how we had issues with our puppies and how I had been really sick for well over a month, and I am still kind of sick. Thankfully I think I know what's going on, and I don't think I need to go to the doctor. I was a little bit worried after last episode that I had like walking pneumonia or something, because I've had this rattling cough for more than 2 weeks now, and so I was a little bit nervous about that. But we just paid off a big medical bill for my last hospital visit, so I was like, I don't want to go back. And it wasn't, you know, I don't feel that crappy. So I think what it is maybe the mold in our environment here. I noticed the other day that I put on a really mildewy smelling sweater that I think I had just left that load in the washer overnight on accident, and it's really hot out, so it got mildewy, and then I put it in the dryer, it still stunk. Anyways, didn't bother to rewash it, which is a mistake, and it really aggravated my symptoms and made it a lot worse. So I think that's part of it. But then, okay, I don't even know where to begin. I'm too excited. So I'm really nervous to share this because it could totally not work out. And like, I hate sharing good news and then like things change and it doesn't work out, and then you're like, oh, bummer. Like, now I have to, you know, that's out in the world. But yeah, so it could totally not work out. It could totally, like, everything could change and we'd be back to square one. But we are in the process of trying to buy a property. So yeah, I'm super excited, obviously, and also super nervous and apprehensive. Even if we do buy this place, it's going to be a long time before we can actually live there. It's, yeah, we went, so like last podcast episode, we had just come back from looking at a different property, and that was in Heppner, which is in eastern Oregon, and it's super remote, and I mean, not remote, but you know what I mean. Compared to some places in the world, it's really not remote at all, but you know, it's just kind of far out and not a lot going on there. And we went to visit because we wanted to see what it's actually like there, and once we got there, it was real clear, like, this isn't gonna work. It's just wheat, like a sea of wheat, and they don't need a fencing contractor or a whole lot done out there, and there's really low population, so it just, the potential for work and everything was going to be too low. So we dropped that idea and started looking around some more, and I came across a property that is for sale by the owner, like owner carry contract, and it's 80 acres, only like 30 minutes outside of Bend, Oregon, which is a really big city. I mean, yeah, I mean, big by Central Oregon standards. It's like a miniature Portland. It's, you know, pretty trendy and really freaking beautiful. Like, I really like that area a lot. It's just super gorgeous. Love the climate. I like, every time we go on vacation there with my in-laws, I'm just like, oh, I want to move out here, but it's too expensive, and you know, it hasn't been something we could do. But we found a really good deal on this property, and the reason that it is a little bit less, I think, is because it's off-grid, and it's not ever going to be on-grid. out there. And they don't think they're ever probably going to extend the grid in that area because solar technology is getting so good that it's probably going to be, you know, not as important in the future. So it's going to have solar and wind power. The good news is they have sun and they have wind, like a very consistent breeze up there. So that should be okay. You know, it's a lot of investment up front in all the equipment and stuff. But yeah, so it's off grid. It's at like 4,500 square, I keep saying square feet, elevation. It's very high up. And so it's a little bit harsher climate. Super dry. Oh my gosh, it's really dry. Yeah, and it's got like a mile-long dirt road driveway. So those things kind of, you know, a lot of typical home buyers are not interested in that. Also, there's literally nothing on the property. There's no well yet, no house, nothing, just bare. It's got some barbed wire fencing on 2 or 3 sides of it, but I mean, for our purposes, we'd have to re-fence anyways, just because we don't really have any animals that will stay in a barbed wire fence aside from maybe our horses, but that's not super safe anyway. But okay, let me get some my coffee. So 2 days ago, we actually drove out and looked at the property, and the real estate agent we had been working with was, you know, obviously very reticent to recommend us going forward with the property. There's a lot of risk involved, and it's going to be a super long, hard road if it works out. Yeah, I don't know what I was saying, but he was just like, I really don't know about this. That's a lot of risk. That's, you know, really going to be hard, but we just can't help ourselves. And we went up there, and I absolutely love it. Like, I really, 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 really want the property. Really bad. So we're currently waiting to hear back from the property owners about a deal. We've offered them a little bit more money to drill the well prior to purchase and put that on the loan. Mostly just because financing the well might be a little bit hard, and yeah, getting all the money for a well, a septic, a solar system, all this stuff all at once, and then a house is going to be a really slow process for us. You're just going to have to save up piece by piece and do it that way. But even after all of those things, if we could finance all of those things, we'd still be way ahead of buying pretty much anything else that's on the market right now, because everything's really inflated over here. So I don't know if you could hear that, but that's our neighbors. I don't know why they rev their engine up and speed down the hill to the stop sign every time. There's a stop sign there. What, like, really? I don't understand it. It doesn't, I'm like, okay, fine. But anyways, I don't know what I was saying. I'm just super excited, like, really excited. So I, you know, was kind of in love with the idea before we went out there. We went out there and we spent like 3 or 4 hours talking to the neighbor who was the guy showing us the property, and he was super nice, really great guy. He said that, you know, all the other neighbors around there were really nice, but the neighbors are, I mean, there's like one house that's kind of close by, but people aren't even there all the time, and then all the other neighbors are like moving away or, you know, not around a whole lot. And so it's super private and secluded, and it has like the most incredible views ever. I'm just like blown away. There's like the Three Sisters Mountains, Mount Jefferson and Mount Hood, and I was just like, oh, I want this. I want a porch and this view, and to like sit and drink my coffee and knit in the morning every day for the rest of my life. Like, it's so beautiful. And you have just a view of the whole valley, and the property's like slopes downward, and it's like got this constant, like probably 10-mile-an-hour breeze or so. So it's like a fairly strong breeze, not like crazy windy, but like just standing out there for those few hours, I got kind of sunburned, as you can tell. It's turning into a tan pretty fast, but it's like a distinct, on this side of my face area, and I don't know if it's wind burn, but like my lips are chapped crazy, and this was 2 days ago. They're still chapped, and I was just like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna die out here. Like, just the wind and the sun made me like, and that higher elevation and thinner atmosphere, I think, like really lets the sun get you. So yeah, I was like, oh man, I'm gonna have to acclimate, or I'm gonna be like a weathered old lady, but it's fine. I am just like super excited about it, and it's killing me. I'm so nervous. So yeah, we've put in kind of an informal offer, and we're just kind of waiting to hear back what they say. If I think they're not wanting to do the well because of the extra hassle that it will be on their side, because they have a few people interested, but nobody offering full price that they think will actually follow through. So I don't know. I'm kind of like, I'm tempted to just email them back and be like, never mind about the well, like, we'll just take it, take whatever you want. Like, I just, you know, really excited about it, but I don't want to be irrational. But like, if they say no on the well, I think we're just gonna have to figure something out, because it's too perfect for us to not live there. So, and the other really cool thing about it is, like, I need to remember to breathe. Good Lord. Two of my brothers live out there, and they're both cool, and we like them. So they'd be like a half hour away. I'd be closer to my niece and nephews, those ones. I have a bunch of siblings that live all around. So, yeah, and my mom really likes Bend, and we like to spend a bunch more time out there. So that would be cool. And I think we might even be able to have like a small, like a tiny residence, like secondary residence, so that family could come stay with us and stuff. I think that would be within zoning. So yeah, I'm super excited, and I'm really nervous to be putting this out into the world, because it could very easily still not work out, and I'm just like really, really attached to the idea. And then, like, when we were leaving the property after we had been there like all day, I was like, I want this place. This is super awesome. And Nicholas was pretty excited about it too. I mean, that doesn't usually happen. We're usually always on like different sides of things. But, you know, we were both like, yeah, this is pretty cool. And we accidentally missed our turn going home and drove straight down into the ravine. Not like off the road, but you know what I mean, like down into the canyon. And at the bottom, like within 5 minutes of the property, is this giant reservoir. And it's like a half hour outside of Bend, kind of out in the middle of nowhere. And there's just this big reservoir that nobody, like, there was one family playing on the beach and one boat in the water, but and it's like a Saturday in a pretty busy area. So I was pretty amazed. Like, it was pretty open, and it wasn't like really crowded, but it looked like a really nice place to go swimming or boating or whatever. And just like, wow, that's a nice little side benefit that they didn't mention at all in the ads and everything. So that's pretty cool. It would be really awesome for Nicholas to get back into sailing, and to have somewhere to take the girls to go swimming so close by. And I'm just, yeah, like, everything about it is so perfect. And it's also like 30 minutes to 3 different large towns, so the potential for work out there for Nicholas is really good. So okay, I need to just, so that's out there. I said it. I've talked about it. You know, like last episode, it was really trying to refrain talking about the fact that we were looking at properties, because it's something that we have wanted to do for a long time and have been like refraining from because we weren't ready. But we're starting to be ready. We'll see. I mean, we were anticipating having to look for a really long time, so we've started the process kind of early, and we are saving up. So we have like a small down payment, and we are planning on building it up over the next year as we looked for things. But we found what we wanted really fast. So I'm just hoping this works out, and if it doesn't, I hope we find something else, you know, comparable, because it's amazing. So anyway, it's also like crazy dry, so dry. Doesn't have hardly any grass on it. The soil, like, they had disked it up some years ago. And then also, like, cows have been coming in, because it's a fence out county, which means as a property owner, it's your responsibility to fence other people's cattle out of your property. It's not your responsibility to fence your animals in. So I kind of like that as a livestock owner. Like, if my animals get out and cause some damage to somebody's crops or something, it's not my responsibility. So that's good. But yeah, so that being said, other animals have been coming on the property and grazing this whole time, and not in any sort of like managed fashion. They've just been free ranging. And so the grass has been really outcompeted by the sage and the juniper. And so it's very, very like sage and rabbit brush and juniper, and like very little grass. So if we move there, we're going to have to like be feeding hay a lot and developing the pastures, and that's going to be a ton of work. And it's hard for me to even like comprehend what 80 acres is like, because I've only, you know, lived on pretty small acreage, and our biggest lease is like 40 acres, and we never get around to all of it because we don't have a large enough flock yet. So it's gonna be a ton of work if it works out, but I really, really want it to. So if you can be, you know, like praying for us, wishing us good thoughts for it, hopefully I'll kind of have an answer before I actually end up editing and posting this, but I probably won't though, because I'm probably gonna try and edit and upload this you know, tonight and then upload it tomorrow morning, so I probably won't know for sure yet. But okay, if you have borne with me this long, then you're a true friend. I will talk about knitting now. And I actually have done knitting. Like last time I was kind of struggling because of the heat and the emotional turmoil to get a lot of knitting done. And I'm really failing at drinking my coffee, my second cup of coffee. I don't need it, obviously. I'm a little hyper. That's not what I wanted to show you. No, yes it is. This is just stuck to it. So I've worked on a few different projects. When we drove to Hebner, I actually pulled out this beautiful project. Ooh, it's so blown out. This cute, wonderful project bag that I love, Bumpy Crafts. I don't know where their tag is. I think it's on the inside. And I will always continue to show you guys this because I love this bag. And this is my Estonian Charlotte. I have finally picked it back up, and it's growing quite well. I did, so yeah, it's really hard to see the pattern because it's not blocked and everything, but it's been a really fun knit. And I'm finally getting the hang of like the repeats, but they change every row. So let me just look at this. I can show you kind of how much I got done on the car ride. Well, I think it's all the gray is what I did on the car ride, but then I think I might have actually gotten a little bit further than that and forgot to cross it off. So that might be confusing when I go back to it. But anyways, and this yarn is by Terry Dow, and I think she might call herself the Ungrateful Wench now on Facebook. And I think she's Terry Dow on Instagram. D-O-W. So yeah, and that, I don't know what the colorway is called, but I really love the yarn and the gauge and the pattern and the project bag. So like this is a very, I think why it's taking me super duper long is because I'm just like thoroughly enjoying it and I'm not in any hurry to get it done. So like when I knit on it, I'm just very, like I have to be mindful because it's the kind of pattern that you can't just mindlessly knit on. But I also am like really enjoying the whole process. It's kind of like eating cake or something. It's the eating cake of knitting. So yeah, I really like this. And I'm getting closer to done. I think I only have like maybe 20 rounds or something left. Maybe that's more. 83 to 103. 20 rounds. That was a really good guess. Yeah, so I have made a little progress on that finally. That one sat dormant for a very long time. Yeah, very long time. I've done 2 sweaters since I picked this one up. So, oh well, it's gonna get done before too long. So that, yeah, was my Estonian Charlotte. And I forget the name of the person. Their name is probably on this pattern here. Well, maybe not though. Let's see. Suzanne Fritz. So I am liking that, and I haven't really worked on it much since that road trip to Hebner, and that was not as fun of a trip. The trip to Bend was really fun. We had a really good time. Obviously, we were really excited, and then the girls had a pretty good day. The day that we went to Hebner was really rough. They were like not happy campers. So the other thing, after I got back from Hebner and set that down, Felicity was looking at this rainbow mini skein set, and she kept pulling it out of my bag and saying, "Mommy, I want you to make me a hat." So I did, because I am powerless against her. But I'm kind of tempted to frog it because it's kind of cool looking, but up close it's like got this weird bumpy texture because what I did was well, first I did a tubular cast on, and it's the first one that I've done, but it ended up, like, the pattern called for 2.25 millimeter needles for the cast on edge, and it ended up being really tight in comparison to the rest, like the body. And so 2.25 millimeter, and even to the rest of the ribbing, which is on the 2.25 millimeters. And then you switch to 2.75 for the body of the hat, or the head of the hat. What I ended up doing was I would start out with one color, marl it with the next color, switch to the next color, marl it with the next color, switch. So there's a section of like 2 or 3 rows, 2 or 3 rows of marling. So that's double thickness because you're holding 2 strands together of 2 different colors. And then 2 or 3 rows of single thickness yarn. And what that did was it created these weird ridges of like really thick and thin. And then I think even in the sections that are single thickness, when it's like gauge appropriate or whatever, because this is the right gauge for this yarn for making socks or whatever, it's very, yeah, I don't know, it's very dense and kind of makes the yarn feel hard. And so it's not like cuddly or fluffy. It looks kind of cool, but on the outside, but I don't like the bumpiness. I'm wondering if it will block out a little bit, but because it's the thickness, I don't know if it will. And I don't really love it. So I'm really tempted. I'm going to put it in timeout for a while so I can decide what I'm going to do, because it was, you know, it's quite a lot of knitting, like sock weight yarn, and it looks cool. The marling looks neat. Kind of like a digitally looking thing going on, but I just don't love the gauge, so I don't know what I'm gonna do. I might just frog it and start over, and I might try the same technique, but instead of doing double thickness, single thickness, double thickness, single thickness, I think I might maybe I will like do double thickness of one color, marl it with 2 colors, double thickness of the next color, marl it with 2 colors, so that it's consistent. And then I could make it a much heavier gauge, like a much higher gauge needles. So, and these are my ChiaoGoo red lace needles, which, as you know, I love them. All of them. They're all wonderful. And then these are my like hat size. I forget what the length is, but it's a little bit small, or the needles are a little bit long for a child size hat, but I actually wedged these onto a 9-inch circular as an experiment, and it worked, but I really don't like working with 9-inch circulars. Like, they're kind of fun, but they also really tire my hands out, so they're not good for something that I want to be able to knit quickly. So anyways, that's that project. This yarn is by X-Ray Ann, and it's a, and this also seems real big for a kid's head. That's the other thing that's bothering me about it. It seems really big for a kid's head, except for the cast on edge is really, really tight, so I don't even think I'll be able to get it on my head. Yeah, this is like an adult size. I don't know what the deal is. I even used a pattern because I didn't really know what I was doing. Yeah, this would totally fit me. So I don't know what the problem is, but I think I need to start over and reassess. Whoa. Yeah, but that's a bummer, because that's a lot of knitting, and I have a feeling Felicity's gonna be really mad at me if I rip her hat out because she's excited about it, but I just don't love it. And I just started doing the decreases before I was like, oh, I don't know about this. So there's that. I have a ball of sock yarn in here that's plain sock yarn, and I can't decide. I have cast on 2 at a time toe up socks like 3 times with these, and had to pull it out because I decided I wanted my needles for something else. It's silly. So that's that. And lastly, for my actual knitting that I've knitted on projects, I don't think I have any finished objects this time. I hope I don't. I hope I'm not forgetting something. Is my Agatha cardigan. Oh, it's actually not attached to this. By Andy Satterland. And, oh, the hat pattern, I will try and find the name of the person. All I actually used it for was the gauge and the stitch number, or the stitch count. And then I kind of obviously did my own thing, but, yeah, I don't, it's a free pattern, but I don't like the size for the size my kid's head is, so I don't know. I don't know if I measured her head wrong or what, but, so this is my Agatha cardigan. So far I have one extremely long sleeve. This looks hilarious. This actually fits me. It rolls up, the cuff rolls up, but it looks ridiculous when I'm looking at this. That's a thing. So let's see. I'll try it on. And I only have one sleeve, and I don't have the button band or the neck band, which is going to be crucial because right now it does not really fit very good because the button band is going to... I've got really long arms apparently. So then I just roll this up like she does in the pattern. And that looks quite cool. Can't really see that part of my arm normally. Actually haven't really looked at this in the mirror a whole lot. Let's see here. Oh, my other life thing is I finally got Washburn neutered. He's actually not even that sad about it. I don't think he even gets that anything's different. I was like putting it off forever and then, oh brother. Okay, so there's that. Let's see. So the pattern was for knitting to like here, I think it was, and then doing ribbing down to here and then having it be cropped. But I decided to go with, I did like mirrored this from here to make it bigger again to fit over my hips. And then I did the ribbing down here so that it would be a full-length cardigan, because I just felt like that was something I would wear more often. Sorry about the light. There we go, that's better. So when it has the button band and it's stretched out, this lace will open up. And then let's see if I can show you the back. Oh, chair doesn't want to turn. So that's what the back will look like. I can't actually see it. I'm super curious. So yeah, that's that. And I'm really liking the way it's looking. The yarn's not overly soft. It's Cascade 220. Heather's. The colorway is Ireland, I believe. And yeah, I really like the color. Really like the way it's knitting up and looking. Just not super soft on my bare arms. So I don't know. I don't know how you wear something with these big lacy. I guess maybe wearing one plain long sleeve shirt underneath it so that all the lace shows through, like matching something. So anyways, I'm pretty happy with that. I'm really curious to know how much wear I'll actually get out of this because this is kind of a dressy cardigan, and I'm just not a super dressy person, but like I like to dress up when I have an opportunity, but I don't have a lot of opportunities as it is to dress up, and if we move out to the middle of nowhere I probably will have even fewer. So that's that. Lastly, I have some stash enhancement, and then I think I might just talk a little bit about what projects I'm planning on doing next. I can't believe that I talked about my own life for like a million, I guess probably because I haven't really been talking about, I didn't really talk about my sweater that much. I just feel like my podcast should be longer, but it's not. The thing that so I think I talked about how I made a mistake last time, and I was talking about deciding the length. So I've covered both of those. I am shedding like a dog. Oh my gosh. Then I figured, I did this technique for the first time actually, a sleeve cap that is done with short rows so that the sleeve comes out and just goes straight down. I think it looks really nice. It was a little bit more, like I had to focus a little bit more than you would otherwise, obviously. But I really enjoyed that. And for some reason, when I did this chart, like I had been reading the charts correctly the whole time, and then all of a sudden I started trying to read it upside down. And I was like, this is making no sense. And then it's like, oh, yeah, what is wrong with me? So that was confusing, especially with the short rows. And I'm finally starting to get the hang of short rows. It's not like an overly complicated thing, but every time I see them in a pattern, I feel like, oh no, this is scary. And then I don't know why, because it's not that big of a deal. But anyway, so I really like that detail, and that's the thing I worked on. And then the arm shaping is weird looking when I'm not wearing it. Like, look how weird that looks. It's so strange, but it actually looks fine on my arm and fits very well. So yeah, that's that. I guess I'm done now. There, I added a minute. So I talked a little bit about being excited for Christmas knitting. So I bought a couple things for my Christmas knitting. Actually, when I look at this, that's the only thing that's actually for my Christmas knitting. The rest of it's for myself. I'm a like unapologetic selfish knitter, I guess. But yeah, I haven't totally committed to patterns for my gifts for everyone, so I'm not sure. This one at the bottom I think will end up being a gift, but I don't know what the pattern's going to be, so that's the hard thing. So for this yarn, I've actually never bought yarn that is in this shape. I am going to be making the Celtic shawl, Celtic knots? No, Celtic shawl, I think is what it's called. And I will put the name up for the pattern and the person. And I wanted something that had good stitch definition, and I think this will really, really show good stitch definition. Like if you just see the high twist, it's very defined and soft. It's merino, yeah. I wanted something that was merino and high twist and soft, so you would get good stitch definition for the cables. And I think I found the perfect yarn, and it was on sale. I think on the I Love Knitting website is where I bought these. And so it was on sale, and I got really good price, and I think I got, yeah, 5 balls of this really pretty stuff. So I really spoiled myself with these. I think, yeah, I got a really good deal on them. But still, this is going to be an awesome shawl for myself. And I've never made a round shawl. I haven't hardly made very many shawls. I think I'm up to 3 now. So yeah, it'll be a round shawl with a cable construction around border around the outside. So that'll be really interesting. And I wanted something lighter. I tend to pick really saturated dark colors, and like for a lot of detail work that doesn't work out super great. Like my pink one is, I didn't pick that color. I won that as a prize, and I'm really glad I did because I love that light color. And it really shows off the lace. So I think this will be a good color for that pattern. So put those over there. And then next, oh, golly. I can't show this. The person, it's a gift, and I'm sure the person's gonna see it. I don't wanna show it. I gotta cut that out. So there's some yarn that I'm really excited about, but I can't show you because my good friend will see it. So I can't show it to you. But anyways, this is, I like kind of almost only bought this because it's very expensive mohair blend yarn that I've never tried. I've never tried mohair, but it's like a pretty dang expensive yarn, and it was on sale for insanely cheap. It was like 75% off or something. So the blend, it's called Saki or something like that. And the blend is 40% kid mohair, 40% superwash merino, and 20% nylon. And it's by Plymouth Yarn, Cape Town collection. And I think the colorway is like something. Made in South Africa. That's interesting. So it's fairly soft. It's not like crazy soft, but it's not bad either. I think it would be okay for a shawl, but I really don't know what to make out of this. So if you have any ideas for something that's like kind of a fancier yarn but plain colored, tell me what to make, because I really don't know. And it's just a single skein. And let's see, how many yards is it? 437 yards, 100 grams. So I don't know, you guys. I don't know what to make out of this. I mean, it's, I guess you could make socks out of it, but that would be, I think that would be kind of terrible. They're so fuzzy, you know, shedding mohair and stuff. So I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, give me your ideas on that. It's very pretty. Yeah, I have no idea. So yeah, very shiny and lustrous, but everything kind of looks that way because of the light. But yeah, so give me ideas. I really wish I could show you the other yarn because it's super pretty, but I don't want to ruin the surprise. Yes, that's sad because that's the thing that I won't even be able to, I'll have to tell my friend not to watch it or something. Then she'll know she's getting something. I don't know. But anyways, so yeah, that is that. Yeah, I'll talk to her. But yeah, okay. So then next I have, so I've been asking you guys for advice for what to do with this really bright yarn. It's even brighter than I remembered it. So I have this, still trying to figure out what to do with it. I think there's one more skein of it in here. It's just kind of a heathery yarn. I really quite like this, but I don't know what to do with these. And I'm thinking maybe of doing a color work project for someone for Christmas. I don't know if that will be high enough contrast. Maybe with that green it will be. Trying to think. How could I arrange these? What do you guys think? I want your opinions. I want to know, like, if the green, like that maybe, or that. I don't know. Maybe, because I'm now that I'm looking at it, the green's a little lighter, so maybe it will be high enough contrast for a color work project. But that's fingering weight yarn, so I was thinking maybe a cowl or mittens or something like that for, yeah, making a bunch of Christmas presents. Everyone can match. I don't know. And lastly, I have this yarn for my friend. I was going to make her baby a jumper and a pair of like leggings, and I have 3 of these, and this is like, I freaking love this yarn. I really want to keep it for myself, but I'm not going to. It's so soft. Superwash Merino by Cloudborne Fibers. And yeah, so I think I was gonna make her that outfit, but I'm thinking her baby will be bigger by the time I get this to her, because I still have to knit it, and he was born a while ago. So I'm thinking I will maybe make a blanket instead, because they can, you know, cherish that forever. Like, baby clothes are, excuse me, keep hiccuping. Baby clothes are so temporary, they outgrow them, and especially when they're tiny. So yeah, I'm thinking a blanket would be nice, because then he can keep that like forever. So yeah, I'm thinking this might be the next thing I cast on. Actually, I was planning on casting this on next because I'm feeling guilty about not having given this to her, but I might cast on my friend's gift present next, because I need to do that. So anyways, yeah, I guess that's it for my knitting talk. I don't know what else to say other than I'm excited and nervous, and yeah, I appreciate you guys for watching. If you want to find me other places, you can follow me on Instagram under Dandelion Dreams Podcast, and on Facebook as Dandelion Dreams Knits, and on Ravelry as Dandelion's Dream. And so yeah, that's where I am. Feel free to reach out to me. I'm always open to chatting, and I really thank you guys for watching, and have a great day. Bye! There's Washburn. Wash. Hi, pretty boy. Are you beautiful? Do you forgive me for neutering you? Okay, thanks.